What is up, Sideways fam? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be working with the Is300 and GS300 Powerhouse Racing triple fuel pump hanger right here. This is a great product that we don't really use very often, only because it's kind of, it just makes you feel kind of like, oh my God, we're going to be doing a lot because there's a lot of pumps you're putting into one hanger, but we're only going to be running two in this video. So basically, let's go ahead and start going over everything about this, and I'll go ahead and walk over the install with you guys. We'll get it installed in the tank. And it looks like it's going to go really, really well. All the instructions are available at powerhouseracing.com, but I'm going to go ahead and walk over this real quick with you guys and start getting all the bottom stuff all situated and show you some cool things about this that are better than all the other companies. So here really quickly is a part number. If you guys want to see it, you can see it's Is300, GS300. So first thing you notice about the pump hanger that's pretty much badass as hell is you have these really badass insulated connectors. Triple pumps out, you know, this is for your float unit. You have the nice wiring inside. These clip on directly onto the float unit. The float unit actually has a clip set up right here. Unlike the other ones, we had got to bolt it in and worry about it breaking off and a bunch of other crap. And everything is actually behind the point where you would have any problems getting the hanger assembly in. The other thing that I like a lot about this is in here, it's set up for you to actually run the OEM seal in here so that you're not going to have any issues with leakage and everything too. So that's really, really, really nice. You can see that you're not going to have any kind of wiring problems because these are really, really big gauge wires and they're good quality wires. There are some instructions here that say, you know, this port is plugged. I'm assuming there is some other kind of install part where you can put 3 pumps in it, but in our case, we're only going to be doing 2. So these 2 are the ones we're going to work with. Now, in the pump box, or the packaging box, you have all of your stuff in here, your Venturi hose and your other hoses, your crimp ends, your bolts, your nuts. It's really nice because they give you the ground wire for the inside of the pump, for your grounds to your pumps to the actual ground. They go ahead and they give you this ground for the top of the pump to make sure that you have a really, really, really good solid fuel system, and you have all your ORB fittings. You went ahead and chose a 6 out, a 8 out, a 6 in, and a plug port, obviously, because you can run 2 8ANs out of this if you wanted to, or probably 10s, but in our case, we're just going to do 2 8s. So let's go ahead and start getting this thing assembled. I'm going to go ahead and walk over the Venturi as well for you guys, which also they call the jet or whatever. So if you know anything about the Is300 stuff, the return line will always have to go through the Venturi, and that's how you're going to siphon the gas from one side of the tank to the other side of the tank. This straight through one is going to be, the straight through one is the one you're going to go ahead and do your like bleed off hose that you're going to have go away from the pumps so that the pumps don't cavitate down here while they're sucking all the fuel in. And then you're going to go ahead and right here, this is the hose that's going to go to the OEM Venturi hose that's all in the tank that runs all the way to the other side. So it's going to basically pull it like this, send it to the other side over here, and keep you from running your tank dry. It's a really, really big problem in Is300s to get one side of the tank full of gas and then the other side of the tank not work, and a bunch of other stuff too. And Powerhouse Racing has already put this in place of the OEM one. You don't have to drill yours out, you don't have to modify yours, you don't have to deal with anything. This is supposed to work and just be the way it's supposed to be. So thank God for that. The pump hanger assembly, I'll have to go ahead and give you guys a price on later. I want to say it's somewhere around the range of 700 bucks. They are expensive, but once again, I mean, it is Powerhouse Racing, and if you know anything about anything super related, they are badass. So let's go ahead and get this thing started to get assembled, and we'll get it in the car. Alrighty, so as we can see, I've already put the pumps in the 2 ports we're going to be using for the fuel hanger with this submersible hose from Parker. That's really, really good because these don't actually get any holes in them like the old style they used to give us that would spin around and everything. I've already gone ahead and just done a real quick setup of just kind of seeing how much different in height, you know, this is. It's about here for height. So if we look, the hoses already come pre-cut to be the right length, where it's already going to be good to go. So that's awesome. We don't need to kind of mess with those, and the pumps sit pretty much level in them. Once you push the pump down, it's going to go ahead and get hung up on these and not have any issue just falling out or anything else. So basically this bolt here is going to be your ground. You can see it kind of has like a riv nut in it. So what we're going to do, and I mean, they did provide us with a wire, but what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to go ahead and cut these off because it does recommend us to cut these and crimp these so that we can have a shorter length and not have any issues. So I'm going to cut these long on the power wire, so we can just go ahead and ground it to here on both pumps, run them to here to one eyelet, crimp it down, and then on the other side of the hanger, there's another riv nut here that's for ground that you'll be able to actually ground with this big wire that they give you in the box, which is great because you're never going to have any kind of ground problem with a wire this big for your pumps. So then we're going to go ahead and do is, since this is the through side of the pump, we've already kind of ran our other drain hose out. So this is going to go ahead and I'm just going to put it away from the pumps over here. You can kind of see it going away so it doesn't end up cavitating the pumps and everything. And then this one is the opposite side. So this is the side that we're going to go ahead and run the Venturi hose in, and I'll show you guys when we're doing it in the car. And then obviously we got to clip in our float assembly that'll come in right here, hook up the two wires because these need to get hooked to it on that. And then on the top of the pump hanger, this just takes like 2 seconds, so not really that big of a deal. I can just grab these really quick. 1 second. So on top of the setup, we're going to go ahead and put the 8 in right here. We're going to go ahead and put the 6 in right here. And we'll go ahead and put in the block off. I don't know why this isn't going in. I'm also not left-handed, so there we go. Nope. There we go. And then we'll go ahead and put the port block off in over here. I'll get an Allen and we'll get this in properly. And that's pretty much it. So when you have it in the car, you'll have it facing this way. You'll just grab your 2 lines, go ahead and go down. You can see there's not really much hanging out the sides of either end, just the filters, and the filters bend really easy. So that won't be a big deal either. And then we'll run the 2 wires that we've chosen. In our case, we ran the black with red and white with red to your 2 fuel pump relays that you're going to be running for both of your pumps that are going to be in tank. And then these will be for your other connector, which is basically the connector right here. When you pop this open, I'll just show you right now since I have one out of the car and I was just testing something real quick. So when you pop this open, you'll see these 2 pins right here, which are going to be your white with black and blue with red, are going to be your 2 fuel pump power and ground, which we're not going to use anymore because the wire sizing is not big enough. And you've actually also seen the Powerhouse Racing has them labeled as well, so you don't mix them up in the wiring. I don't believe there's any polarity difference, but they make it nice and easy for you so you don't get mixed up or have any issues. But these are going to be your level wiring that's going to be there. It's as easy as the 1, 2, 3 that's there. I believe one of the pins is a dead pin. I don't think it even does anything. I don't know why there's actually a pin there, but I'll pop this up real quick for you guys a little bit later so we can actually inspect that and kind of make sure that what I'm telling you is right on that. Yeah, I went ahead and popped this open for you guys so you guys can see. Yeah, so the pin all the way to the right is a dead pin. There's nothing there. It's just these 2 wires to the float unit, which is kind of weird. A lot of them are usually 3 wires, but this is a 2 wires, so hence the reason why they have 2 wires right here. So anyways, guys, let's go ahead and get it done. Also wanted to take a minute to kind of go over this hanger. This is your OEM Is300 hanger, the one that we just pulled out of Squire's car. Obviously, on the actual hanger itself, we've already gone ahead and pulled out the level unit. You can see it just slides right out with 2 clips. But this is what it all looks like. This is your OEM Venturi right there on the side with the regulator for that regulates the fuel pump for fuel pressure and everything right there too. And this is why this doesn't work as a boostable system in your car. It's a returnless system. So basically what happens is the fuel pump will give the engine fuel pressure, and then it'll just pressurize the rail, and then this regulator will regulate the pump and have the pump kind of going like this to have the fuel pressure stay at about 30 psi or whatever, which for emission standards and everything too. All the new cars are like this. Your G35, your 350Z, your Genesis, anything that's going to be new style car is going to have that kind of a system. It's really dumb, but that's just how they've been doing it with US cars for a minute now. All JDM, from my understanding, all have return lines. Even like the 98 to 04 GS300 in Japan has a return line. And everything too. But anyway, I just wanted to show you real quickly. This is why you cannot do pretty much anything with your guys' cars. It's all plastic. You can put up to a AEM 340 fuel pump or like a Dutchworks 300, I believe, could probably fit in here too. But for boosting applications, that pump's only going to get you to like maybe 400 horsepower. I want to say like iffy 400 horsepower, based on if you're going to do cams, what size turbo, kind of the whole entire setup. So my opinion is, I mean, if you're going for 400, go ahead and stick with the single pump, and don't go and do all this crazy, you know, fuckery with everything about how we're doing. You can just drill a bulkhead in the top of the tank, which you would do similar to how it is right here. Or you can just go ahead and buy the Aristo hanger that has two twin ports just like this in 5/16, and you'll be good to go. If you are going to go with something better and you need to make a lot of power in your car, then just know that you're going to end up being there. You're going to have to go with the Surge or this hanger. So just giving you guys a little bit of info, making sure that I'm being clear about what I'm telling you guys. So let's get back into it. Alrighty guys, so real quick, this is already all done and assembled. We're good to go. Went ahead and put our 2 wires to our float unit and cut off the connectors for the pumps that are right there. So we're already in the trunk right now. We're gonna go ahead, or sorry, in the back seat. This is where your fuel pump already is. Kind of hard to see, but I'm gonna go ahead and get this inside. We're gonna see how much room we actually get while doing this. Alrighty, so first things first, we need to go ahead and get the Venturi hose up and out. So we're gonna go ahead and grab this. And this hose is supposed to slip on to here and be as easy as just sliding that on. So then what we're gonna do is we gotta come back and somehow try to get this. Maybe what we'll do then on this is we'll go ahead and pull this off with the Venturi hose first. We'll go ahead and snake this in. Try to snake the pumps in as well. So this does not go in easy at all. This goes in really, really hard. So we don't want to bend or break the leveler, because that seems to always happen whenever we're doing this. Sorry for the bad lighting, you guys. It's just really, really hard to do this and be explaining what's going on at the same time. So the problem I'm running into first is getting the pumps into the hole. And I'm gonna kind of rotate this and see what we can do to get it in. And then I've now pushed it through. It's not a huge deal. We're doing okay right now. Okay, we're halfway down and in. I don't know if you guys can see. So right now, this is the OEM hose. This is the Venturi hose. We're gonna have to go ahead and shove this on here. It's kind of hard because it is very tight, and I'm not trying to break anything. Hopefully this clamp is going to be enough to do that. And then what we have over here now is we have wiring that's getting very close to getting squished. This side we seem to be okay, and we still have to clear the leveler, so that's not good. So it is a very tight fit. It was saying in the instructions that we need to possibly bend this stuff out to make it fit. Oh, I don't know what that was, but that was something that just clipped. I need to get this out of here. The struggle is real, you guys. I don't know what we're stuck on. Oh, that's what we're stuck on. We're stuck on the lip or the ridge of the float unit. The problem we're having now is that we're getting caught right here. Around the tank is very tight. So I'm gonna try to see if I can get that off real quick and then get it in the tank. Alrighty guys, so right now we're gonna head over to our local hardware store and grab some new bolts, because the bolts that come with the Is300 are super small for that little metal plastic hanger that goes over the top that pretty much flattens out the whole assembly. These are like way too short. They need to be a little bit more than double the length, and we'll have to probably put some washers or something possibly if they're too long. We ran into this problem with the Autosport engineering one. It's kind of stupid that they don't just give you the right size bolt with it. They just expect you to just have it, which is kind of weird to me. I mean, especially for Powerhouse to not give you the hardware. I mean, I've already tested the unit, and I'll go back and show you guys just to see that the float does work. We are getting a reading. It's not stuck all the way at the top, not always stuck at the bottom. It's right in the middle. And just like that, we're installed. I'm gonna go ahead and test the leveler and make sure that we have a reading right now. But I mean, pretty self-explanatory. You match the two color codes to the wires that are there. And then obviously you're gonna wire your relays for your pumps, because you're not gonna run this on the stock engine setup anyways. But you'll just grab the wires out of this that are right there. Those are for your leveler. And that's pretty much it, guys. You can see that down here, you're gonna have your area that you're gonna be running your fuel lines down, back down and through where the OEM lines go. And that's gonna be pretty much it. So we will get this together and get it up and started later in this video with this car, with this Squire's turbo build for his Is300. So it is a pain in the ass to get in. It's definitely not the worst hanger. I would recommend around the ring, kind of prying up the ring. You could even shave the ring to get it through. It is possible. You just got to be really careful and take your time. Let's go ahead and check and see if the leveler works, and then we're going to be done with this video. Alrighty, so we got power inside. Let's see if we turn the key, if we got a level. And as you can see, it is working. Comes right on as soon as you turn it on, comes off, turn it on. You got power. We're not at the bottom stuck, or at the top, so obviously we're working. So I will go ahead and link the instruction video from Powerhouse Racing in this video for you guys. That's a super good hanger to buy, probably the best one that you could possibly buy on the market. I wouldn't promote anybody else's stuff, but Powerhouse Racing. We've used the Autosport hanger, haven't had a good time with it. Used some of the other ones and just been a complete mess. My two things that we always do, if we're gonna do them, is either a surge tank from Nuke Performance. You've seen plenty of our videos about those, and us installing those in the cars. If the customer wants to have his trunk be all OEM and not unmodified and whatever, you can use one of these hangers and not have to get into the trunk. I mean, instead of running 4 lines, you'll have to only run 2 lines. And I mean, for twin pumps, if that's what you're going for, that's gonna work great. So I don't know, guys. I mean, this car, it's gonna be more of a time attack car. He probably would have been okay with just 1 pump. But it looks like everything's gonna work pretty well. So if you guys have any questions or concerns or anything you guys want to talk about, go ahead and message me through Instagram or on YouTube. I do respond to everybody. I mean, I do get a lot of phone calls from you guys, so it is kind of hard to answer the phone when we're working and we're busy over here, but probably easier to message me, email me, or whatever you guys want to do. And I hope you guys enjoyed the video, guys. Until next time, guys, peace.